Look at this, guys. It's still they don't really have it together how they do trash here. It says bad for the trash guy. I'm gonna try to buy a bucket. I see some people that have like a barrel. Horrible. These trash guys come 3 times a week. The nature here is crazy. We gotta cut down this tree. We still don't know how it died, but here nature all morning and what I wake up to every day. Now some places don't have these forests, so you don't get this type of noise, but I enjoy it because it's you get the freshness from the trees. I enjoy the sound of nature when I wake up, so it's cool. What's up, guys? Just wanted to make another video. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It really sucks making these videos, not being able to like get through them without stopping and editing and all that stuff. But I wanted to give you a good video, and I hope that it'll help you in your decisions in the future, what you plan on doing as far as a wife or moving from the United States. For example, I am married to a Colombian, and before the ex was a Puerto Rican. Now I have family in Colombia, and I see things that are pretty much universal with women. And because I'm actually learning about women more at my age, I felt like, okay, second marriage, I don't want more problems. What do I have to deal with? What can I put up with? And what do I need to change and accept? Because there's things about us men that they need to accept, but you got to teach them, and you got to accept these things, and we got to find a balance. So I've been doing a lot of research, I'm gonna tell you about some other stuff I've been doing. Just basically, universally, women don't like to say I'm sorry, and they do not like to admit that they're wrong. So the other thing is, universally, women do not like a man to tell them anything because they say that you're being like their dad. Universally, all women think yelling is abusive. For us, it's normal because that's how we handle our anger and our rage or whatever when we feel that we're right. And so I'm basically gonna give you guys, and even if there's younger guys watching the channel, but really from my age perspective, I'm 46. So how you're gonna be running against some of the same things, doesn't matter which country it is, and you need to accept that this is universal with women. And this might be the situation with even your, if you're with somebody in America or thinking about leaving, you might just want to stay and try to accept that, because we need to come to these conclusions that we agreed and to disagree. It's a male thing, it's a female thing. We're never gonna get these perfect women. So the difference thing I found was in the United States, and like I've said in other videos, dating online and stuff like that, your options are much greater out of the country. You have something that they want of value. I'm not saying that because you live in the United States, you're the most eligible person. They just have different things they're willing to accept that American women aren't. And American women have went the way of, I don't want to raise another woman's kid. I don't want to be in that situation. So they have to be old enough and grown and out of the house. There has to be a certain amount of kids, 1 or 2. And then if you want a woman in the United States, and it's not about age, but you know about what you're attracted to, then you're basically looking at your options are very low. So what I would say is that the women in Colombia, other countries that aren't as fortunate as the United States, are willing to accept things and actually genuinely have an interest and actually knowing your family or want to be a part of that. So the other thing is you can never tell a Latin woman anywhere, Latina, that they are like other women because they basically act like that's the worst thing you could ever say. It's emotional abuse. So if you guys got to learn this, I'm trying to tell you, if you really want things to work out, don't move out of the country and think that you're gonna actually find stuff different. These are things that I'm learning to handle. So in the past, I was like, no, heck no, don't disrespect me. Don't talk to me this way, and all that stuff like that. And still, for a man, respect is everything, and I know that. So I'm still about my respect. At the same time, you have to weigh the balances, the pros and the cons, because you can keep on jumping around and one day you're gonna get kind of to that point where things aren't gonna be as they were before, like your health and everything. So when I'm talking to the guys who want to settle down, who probably want a different environment, um, if you really want to experience something different, you gotta start accepting what men and women are about, and these differences that we have that are like just keep people arguing all the time and from coming together on stuff. So most Latina women in both places are jealous, and um, basically, if you come to Colombia and you don't know really how to control your eyes, which is, I'm gonna tell you, is Colombia does have the most beautiful women probably in the world. So if you come and get a Colombian wife and you don't know how to control your eyes and stuff, you're gonna have a lot of problems because they don't want you looking at another woman. So it's one of them things that you gotta learn. It's one thing I'll say about I had this situation. We went to a restaurant. There's this woman, and she's probably about 50, and she had been to the United States, and she had a relationship with a black guy, and said that it didn't work out because he was toxic. Now I'm here with my wife, and she's being really touchy and stuff like that. Like, she touched me while she was talking, and my wife noticed right away and was like, I was like, oh goodness, we need to get out of here because she's gonna get all crazy. And when we got out of there, it wasn't that she got crazy, but she was like, she's all ooh about you and how she likes black men and all that stuff. And so understand that there's some of them that are flirtatious. So us being American guys, we don't let people get close to our women, and the women generally don't let people get close to us. So in Colombia, that's one thing too. I realize that women think that a man is toxic because he knows what men are about when it comes to women. So if they have friends and stuff, or if they have, they basically will say that a man is toxic really quick. And it's another thing that I've seen here is women dance with other guys' wives and husbands. So like they'll kind of switch off just because they like dancing so much. So I'm sitting here, my wife would go nuts. She would go nuts, and I don't let that happen either. So you got to get these understandings, guys, because their culture is different. It's different when it comes to stuff like that. Me and my wife have this understanding. Don't think that you're gonna dance with another guy in front of me. That doesn't work. I don't know, like, people don't understand here. This is why there's so much cheating here, because stuff like they'll be dancing. The guy's sitting up here smelling this woman. You can kind of feel her vibe when she's dancing and all this closeness. They need a ride on a motorcycle. They're really close body to body, and these are things that that really in the United States we're not used to. So I mean, I make sure my wife has the motorcycle, and I ride with her, like, and she knows that she's not allowed to have men riding on the motorcycle with her, and she's not gonna ride with another man because there's taxis. So there's ways around that. You know, it's not toxic not to give people an opportunity. But basically, the history, like it seems like there's been always some kind of history of problems. Like there's no dad, or dad's not in the picture, or um, bad relationships with dads and stuff like that. So um, yeah, there's a lot of the same problems with Latino women here and Latino women in America. And so if you think about moving just because your money is stronger, just because they're going to appreciate you, that wouldn't be the best reason to do it. And another thing, guys, quit sending these women money. If you haven't visited, if you haven't got a commitment, do not send these women money, because they are taking your money and you're not going to get nothing from it until you actually can visit and meet them and see what's going on around them. Don't send money, because they've been living a certain way without you, and you making their situation better without being able to live with them is not a smart thing to do. It's just not, because that money only goes so far, and then they still have their normal life. So they're gonna take care of things like they do, and you got to stop sending money. But I'm encouraging you not to send money to a woman that you do not have a commitment from. And I know you can't have a commitment with somebody that you're not speaking Spanish with. It's just too many things that can be going on. So if it's entertainment, to text people and find people on these dating apps, that's what it is, entertainment. I remember the first person that I had in Colombia, and I thought that this was the thing to do because it was COVID, and like, oh, they can't survive and all this stuff. And all these people survived with COVID. They ate, they all did what they had to do because they have so much family. So nobody lets anybody starve here. It doesn't happen. There's fruit in the trees. If you got to, you can pretty much live off of just arepas and water and eggs. So nobody was starving. Now, is there a good thing about American women to stay for? Um, and look, I'm thinking, and I'm like, okay, I got sisters, and I consider them good women and stuff like that, and I have nieces, I consider them good women, and I got friends uh, back from my job, and it seems like all the basically, just speaking, I'm going to speak about Latin women, that the good ones are taken, and still, if they're not, they're still not looking for that situation, as far as dating older men or whatever, men that are older with kids and stuff. I mean, I've seen it. I know that it happens, but I'm just saying, like, truly, what are your options for the people, the Latinas in America that are looking for your type? You have to think about that, because you see in your area, you see, of course, if you're in Florida and New York where there's like an abundance of them, your chances are better. But if you're not, in places like that, LA, Texas, Arizona, then I would definitely Chicago. But then you're dealing with the whole thing, the upkeep of the woman and her Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and all that stuff. Guys, it's just basically you deciding what's best for you, and I just wanted to give you some of that advice. I'll say this: Colombia isn't gone woke like America, where basically it's just all this stuff that's off the wall. Like, they still know what a woman is. They still know, basically, that they're not screaming, "I don't need a man," and all this stuff. I mean, obviously there's these internet models probably making a ton of money who feel that way, but still, there's still like more morals here that are like falling off the map in America. So if that's one of the things that bothers you, like it did me, like how the country's going away from families, and just basically the court system's just trying to ruin men, and they're trying to make men out to be last place in the country and be weak and feminine and all that stuff, then you definitely have a good reason to leave. I'm gonna say, if you can handle that you're gonna have to still deal with some of the same things, you're gonna definitely have a lot better options in out of the country, and I'll tell you more in other videos why it would be a good idea, what you need to do to start moving. This one's got long enough, so hope that this just helps you out a little bit. All right, guys, take care.